Just a quick reminder that on the Best Of episode, I will be reading the name of everyone that's a Patreon subscriber. So if you want me to say your name on the Best of the Year podcast, make sure to become a Patreon subscriber now. And also, I will be hosting my annual holiday movie Mind Melter starting at 9 a.m. on December 20th at secretcinematheque.com. So please tune in for 12 to 15 hours of holiday movies. I can guarantee you will see something that you have never seen before. Hope to see you there and enjoy the episode. Hello, my name is Justin Decloux, and I'm here today with
Will Sloan.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That's right, folks. It's Big Dember.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Annually on this podcast, by which I mean once before.
Twice.
In the month of December, we do big topics, popular topics that people care about and love. Because last month, we did entirely obscure topics that nobody knows about.
And now we're talking about they'll beat you, bash you, twist you, mash you, chew you up for brunch.
That's
and
right.
Finish you off for dinner and lunch, dinner
the
and
dulcet
lunch,
tones,
lunch.
folks. Is that Isaac Hayes across the table from me? That's right. We're talking about the biggest franchise of all time.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
In terms of size.
Yeah, those tomatoes are big.
That's right, folks. This is our Big Dember this year because nobody can stop us. Nobody can make us do a good topic. We refuse.
Hey, you know what? I can feel those click of people who know what Attack of the Killer Tomatoes are.
That is one thing you cannot deny. People know or have heard the title Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
If you are our age, that's the cutoff. I think
you don't think younger people have heard this?
I think Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was a phenomenon of the midnight showings and the video era. That's how I knew them, that I walked by that comedy section and the iconic poster of the first movie. I'd be like, what the heck is that?
And I gotta say, I think Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the first one at least, is about as famous and iconic a cult movie can be that has never really become a cult movie. A movie that has never really caught on. Like, do people, and folks, write in, let me know.
What do you mean by caught on, though? That
like,
they watch and laugh with?
What I mean is, people love Pink Flamingos. Mm-hmm. People love Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes.
Do people love this movie? Or have they just seen it? Or have they just heard the song?
I think there are definitely people who it's their favorite movie because every movie's someone's favorite movie.
Okay,
yes.
Sure.
Will you find Attack of the Killer Tomatoes fan groups? Absolutely. Is it even close to any of the movies that you mentioned? No, not even close.
We're talking about 4 movies, improbably. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from 1978 was the brainchild of 3 guys in their early 20s from San Diego.
I believe they all went to high school together.
Who created a phenomenon. Now, I'll tell you my personal history with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. When I was in grade 5 or 6, that's grade 5. Mm-hmm. I rented the VHS from Rogers Video because it was called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And as a budding bad movies buff, I thought, well, this has got to be one of the worst movies of all time. It's iconic. This is a golden turkey if I ever saw one. And I was surprised to discover that actually it was a kind of Zucker Brothers style comedy.
Even though it did advertise itself as a bad movie.
And you uncovered some interesting facts about that too, because this book was in the Golden Turkey Awards. I believe it won the prestigious prize of worst.
It was in the book?
Yeah, I think so.
I know that there was like a touring film festival.
The Medveds had their world's worst film festival. They went to colleges and rep theaters.
And Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was in there, and the director said that when the Medveds asked them if they could include the movie, he said yes, but we need to win the award for worst movie. And them winning and having that award was enough to gain the film a lot of popularity.
Right.
And I think that what gained the film popularity, and you can find clips of Eddie Murphy talking about it in like interviews.
Eddie Murphy
being like, yeah, you change the channels and it's like, what's this, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? How did they make something like that?
This reminds me of one of my favorite facts of all time, which is there was a New Yorker profile of Charlie Chaplin by Lillian Ross, like when he was promoting Limelight. Okay. It was, I guess, his last visit to New York for 20 years or something. And he was walking along 42nd Street telling Lillian Ross about the old vaudeville houses he used to play. And he saw a marquee and he said, Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla.
Famous story, yeah.
So I love when history collides like that.
So a lot of the information I'm going to talk about today, I was very surprised that I thought I would go to the Wikipedias, and these movies are popular enough to have like production history. How did they get? They don't. None of them really do.
I mean, I found an article.
I found it too. Wasn't it for like Eatin' Good magazine?
Yeah, Bon Appetit magazine from 2013 by some brave hero named Sam Dean wrote an oral history of Bon Appetit magazine where he interviewed the three main creative forces, director John DeBello and co-writers Costa Dillon and Stephen Peace. Stephen Peace later became a state Democratic senator.
And even though that in the last few years, he supported Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Did he?
He did, yes.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we all get old. We all get our own kind of brainworms, if you
All right,
will.
yeah.
I watch a YouTube video that's 3 hours long. It's made by Screaming Soup, ! And it's just called 20 Cast and Crew Interviews, all for Killer Tomatoes movies and cartoon. And it's just a documentary that's actually really good, really well edited, where everyone is interviewed and they tell you the whole story.
Everyone.
Except for George Clooney.
Right. We'll get to
that
him.
was the question you were going to ask. And so it starts with their friends in high schools. They say they're squares, like they would play Monopoly to pass the time. They didn't do any drugs. They didn't go drink. They didn't go partying.
And after college, they started a company called Foursquare Productions.
And that's why, because they were square.
That's right.
That's the story they
And
give.
originally they did like industrial stuff. They did like they would shoot high school football teams.
Yep. And I believe that was their main income, even as the tomato pictures were coming out.
And importantly, like this is before everyone had a camera. So like they were kind of like, George Romero and John Russo.
Doing industrial videos. Yep.
That kind of thing. Yeah, there's a particular kind of guy that we sometimes encounter on this podcast. The guy's working like making industrials who dreams of something bigger and is like just a little bit too smart to like be satisfied with this lot in life. Sometimes they turn into Hank Harvey, who made Carnival of Souls.
Oh, what a movie.
Sometimes they turn into George Romero. Other times they're more like the guys who made the Ernest films, who were Nashville like ad guys. And these guys are kind of like that. When we did the Jim Varney episode a little while ago, we watched this movie called Existo.
Oh, yeah. The art film.
Yeah. The art film by the guys who made the Ernest movies, which is this wild, futuristic, it's kind of inspired by Cafe Flesh. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's
not good, though.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And you're watching it and you're thinking, I wish this was better.
Yeah. Like you want this win for them because you're on their side.
And so if you are John DeBello, just know I love you. I respect you. Just stop listening right now because I'm about to defend you in a way that might hurt your feelings.
Okay.
Like the guys.
All right, I'm cracking my knuckles here as Attack of the Killer Tomatoes fan #1, but give your defense.
So the guys at Foursquare Productions are like just smart and talented enough and creative enough to want to do something better than making like high school football videos. But they're not that funny, And it's like they're clearly the guys, like the guys who made the Ernest movies, who were like, they loved Marx Brothers movies. They were
Mad Magazine.
Yeah, they were probably watching Monty Python on PBS.
Around this time, the Groove Tube's coming out.
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah.
And this movie, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, was finished a year before Airplane, which is a very similar kind of comedy. And, these guys, they obviously have a sense of humor. That doesn't mean they're funny.
There's a lot of jokes in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes where I'm like, that's a joke.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll smile a little bit like a Superman joke that they underline very heavily, but not many of them land. Now, I want to give you my history with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Please.
So I think I definitely saw the cartoon first, heard the theme song, fell in love. I'm a big monster kid in the 90s, and I like Gremlins, I like all that stuff. That's what the cartoon is promising me, right? Tomatoes running around with teeth, they're chomping all over the place. John Astin, mad scientist, and I know for a fact that I rented Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It had that VHS cover of you've seen it, the big tomato. It smells like rah, rah.
Yeah.
And watching the movie and being like, what the hell is this? Because that's not what the movie is.
It is a wacky, off-the-wall comedy.
Yeah, the tomatoes are just either normal-sized tomatoes or they're big tomatoes.
Big papier-mâché kind of things.
Most importantly, they have no personality, they have no teeth. Now, one of the writers who lasted the entire run of the series, I believe he has a credit on every single one of them, Costa Dillon, is anti the tomatoes having teeth because he thinks then you're getting away from the joke that they are completely non-threatening. They're just big tomatoes.
This is an interesting philosophical divide, and we in the
Tomatoverse.
tomato. I almost said Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
we in the
that's what we call ourselves. We're big tomato fans.
We in the tomato community, we're divided between do you like the first two better or do you like the second two better? Because in the second two, they're more like the Gremlins.
Yes,
and in the first two, they're big dumb tomatoes.
Spoiler alert: I am pro the last two tomato pictures, and we'll get to why they are the way they are. But so like this first one, boy. That, like, John Landis stink is all over this movie.
Oh, boy.
Like, the main guy is like, get me the non-union equivalent of John Belushi.
So it's got a lot of jokes in it at a slightly, like, slower clip than, Airplane.
I will say that there's one funny joke in the movie that I think about when I think of the film. It's when all of the generals get into a room that's too small.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of funny.
Yes.
More typical is the scene where it's like there are some army guys and they start doing a dance and they're
not funny.
And they're gay.
Yeah, not funny.
And that's typical of the sort of humor that we see in these movies, which is public domain jokes.
Yes.
Jokes that everybody can make. Jokes that everyone has made. What if some army guys are gay?
And then you have stuff like, it's a Jaws parody and they're tomatoes. And you're like, will you expound on that? And they go, no. That's it.
That's a public domain joke right there.
Yes, that's it.
What if Jaws was a tomato?
That is a... I hate to say this, John DeBello, a bizarre-like joke. The classic Canadian content TV show.
Wow, John Biner.
Spinning in his grave, even though he's not dead.
He might as well be.
Yep.
When I was a kid and I saw this movie when I was 10, the joke that I thought was funniest, which I no longer think is funny. So this tells you how comedy is dependent on context.
Yes.
And where you are in life.
I'm going to guess. Let me guess. The Japanese guy's dubbed?
Yeah, I probably found that funny.
Okay.
I don't find that funny anymore.
No, not funny.
But what I really found funny is there's a running gag throughout the movie about the biggest song in the nation, which is Puberty Love. Puberty Love. It's a song called Puberty Love, and it's a voice like this that's singing. Now, I thought that was really funny when I was 10, probably because I was about to
hit puberty.
Puberty. So that hit close to home. Now I'm watching this and I'm thinking, why is this song, which is so bad, the most popular song in the nation? Doesn't make sense. Like the internal.
All right, let me bring up IMDb, the goof section.
I'm just saying the internal logic of the joke doesn't make sense.
Okay.
That this is the biggest song in the nation.
Now,
and you're thinking I'm being a pedant. It matters.
They said that they were parodying like Donny Osmond, and they thought that that's how he sounded when he was singing the song.
Oh, well, so a version of this joke that makes sense is in Mars Attacks.
Yeah, that they stole from Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And that won't be the first joke that was stolen by a much more popular film in the series.
They stole it and they made it better.
They did, yes.
They gave it logic. They took a song that's bad, but that people might conceivably think is good.
Thinking about the movie, there is one joke near the end of the film that made me genuinely laugh out loud, which is Puberty Love plays, all the tomatoes, they start running or shrinking or whatever, but then there's one big tomato that its ears are covered.
That's funny.
And then the hero comes over and the tomato's like coming towards him and he takes out the sheet music and he shows it to the tomato and the tomato's like, oh!
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like there's funny stuff. There are funny individual moments here.
I think that this is a Zucker problem. It's also a modern day Simpson problem. When you make a joke, the joke can't just be the thing. There needs to be another joke on top of that. That is like, oh yeah, there's the obvious joke. Then you have another one on top.
Well, also, I watched Naked Gun again pretty recently, and it's
ouch.
which unfair to compare this to the Naked Gun, but I'm going to do it anyway, because in a movie like that, again, there are jokes within jokes. There are layers of jokes. There's a scene in The Naked Gun where it's like, those sets in movies where the camera will go from one room to the next, and there's a kind of invisible wall. And Leslie Nielsen just walks in front of the...
And they don't comment on it?
They don't comment on it.
Yes.
It's so important they don't comment on it. It happens so quickly. And in this movie, everything is commented on. Yes. Everything is underlined. Like there's a scene in, oh God, is it Return of or Strikes Again, where it's like, there's a prison, and the prison is called like Oliver North Federal Penitentiary, which is a topical reference at the time. And the camera just like hones in on that sign. And it's like, if that sign was just in the background and that was a bonus joke that you could like scope out, that's one thing.
They don't have enough jokes, Will. they gotta zoom into whatever jokes that they have. Another issue, which I feel like this first one, my main one is tomatoes don't have teeth. Big issue. also no protagonist. And I think maybe it's because they're structuring it like a disaster movie, that there's multiple people. None of them are particularly funny or played straight enough.
Well,
and that's a big issue.
This is a problem, and this is what the Zuckers got. You actually do kind of care about Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty in Airplane.
You need that in those movies.
You care about, Leslie Nielsen.
But so Attack of the Killer Tomatoes come out. The director said, like, I wanted to play at drive-ins. It did. Had a bit of a life of its own afterwards because, it was kind of a running joke. It played midnights all the time at one theater.
You can definitely see, the rationale or the thinking behind this. It's similar to the thinking behind something like Pink Flamingos, where it's like, what can we do that can get attention? The Worm Eaters is another movie.
And the way that they played it was like, isn't this bad on purpose?
Yeah.
Which is like, huh? Okay, I guess.
This has airs in things like Sharknado, for example.
Yeah, well, they said that they were parodying Japanese monster movies, and the one that they were specifically parodying was Ishiro Honda's Matango, I think it was Attack of the Mushroom People.
Well, they could have learned a thing or two about mise en scène by studying Ishiro Honda.
If people haven't seen Matango, it is a genuinely disturbing, like, body horror movie.
A beautiful film.
Beautiful. Like, it's like...
These guys need some respect.
Yeah, they do. Oh, man. It makes me think of the biggest case of disrespect that almost makes me completely disavow the people making fun of it. The infamous riff tracks, Ragged on Carnival of Souls.
Oh, riff tracks. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. They're like, you watch that movie again? It's not that good. It's actually really bad.
Yeah, fuck that.
How does Return of the Killer Tomatoes come out a decade after the first movie?
And incredibly, it is a sequel. It's not a reboot.
Yes.
It takes place 10 years after the Great Tomato Wars. So how does it happen?
So they do make a movie in the mid-'80s. What was its release title? Its original title was Sour Grapes. And it's about beer, and they weren't very happy with how it came out. It's like an 80s sex comedy.
Called Happy Hour. It's there. It's always vanilla.
Yeah, basically. And what happens is a little TV show called The Muppet Babies does a parody of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. And it becomes the most popular episode of The Muppet Babies around. And so they are I think they're contacted by New Concord, who are like, hey, do you guys want to make a movie for us of a more Killer Tomatoes? I'm like, all right. And you can tell watching Return of the Killer Tomatoes, they do not want to make a Killer Tomato picture because this movie has no killer tomatoes in it.
Yeah, so this movie is like, it sort of has the tone of the first movie, but it's also more of a teen comedy,
So it stars Anthony Stark and Mr. George Clooney.
That's right, folks. This is the breakout role for Anthony Stark, American actor. Stark is well known for his one-episode role in Seinfeld, playing the third-person speaking character Jimmy, as well as playing Jack on the George Carlin Show on Fox. That's right. It all began here, folks.
And who can forget him teaching Leslie Nielsen everything that he knows in Repossessed from 1990.
But yes, George Clooney also appears in the film. I think this is it's his first lead role. It's
his second return film.
Because he was
also in Return to Horror High.
And he was in Grizzly 2.
Yeah, that's right, but which was unreleased, so it didn't come out.
So this is his second released film. And, I did my due diligence. I scoured the internet for every clip or interview I could find of George Clooney talking about Return of the Killer Tomatoes. And it's one that he brings up all the time.
Yeah. Oh, does he?
He loves talking about this movie in the context of, I've been in some bad movies. Have you ever heard of Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
Have you ever seen it? Sorry, I'm bringing up my director's filmography here. Leatherhead.
Yeah.
The Monument Man.
I'd rather watch this than Suburbicon. I'll tell you that. Here's a message to George Clooney, if any of you know him.
Goddamn respect, Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, show a little respect for John DeBello, who gave you a job, who gave you a leading man role early in your career. And I gotta say, I think George Clooney's good in this movie.
Well, Anthony Stark, when interviewed about it, said that he and George decided that Stark would play the manic one and George would be the deadpan. Just every joke is just kind of normal and cool.
And that's why he's so funny.
That's why he's so funny.
There's a scene towards the end of the movie where he says, like his last scene, he says, that's the bravest thing I've ever seen a vegetable do.
Yeah.
And he delivers it really well.
He's not like, that's the bravest thing I've ever seen a vegetable do.
An example of the kind of public domain joke. Well, actually, I guess Wayne's World ripped this off.
Wayne's World ripped this off!
The product placement bit.
This is very funny in this movie, where halfway through the movie, the main actor goes like, we're out of money. We can't keep making this movie.
Well, I think the setup is funnier than the payoff.
Oh, I think the payoff is very, because it keeps going on and on.
I guess that's true.
And the payoff is, hey, let's take these great dune buggies to where, do we still got to keep doing this? Don't we have enough money? And the camera pans over to the directors like being fanned by like bikini women and they have like big cigars.
Okay, you're right. It's funny. It's funny. But no, folks, in case you lost what the joke was, halfway through the movie, the shooting gets disrupted. They say, we've run out of money.
Yeah.
And
we need to do product placement.
And George Clooney says, it's the 80s. Let's do product placement.
What's funny is like, did George Clooney improv that, considering his career? Just shilling for whatever company?
Yeah, that's right. All his coffee ads.
Nespresso. Yeah.
Yeah. How about show some disrespect for that, not for the great Mr. John DeBello?
Anyway, so from that point on, everyone's always talking about like Pepsi or the Kellogg's box, which is like being put into frame. Mm-hmm. And Wayne's World did that exact same joke.
Yeah.
Exactly that same joke.
By the way, this is just random, but in that oral history article, the co-writer Costa, he said, we were movie nerds. We could tell you all the writers on The Tonight Show. We would sit there and try to guess what writer wrote which part. So I love that. Then he says, I look at these Judd Apatow things. We never wanted to do that. Never wanted to do the cheap scatological humor. We always wanted to do something that was clever, whether or not anyone else thought it was clever.
Return of the Killer Tomato?
To that I would say people in glass houses should not throw tomatoes, okay? Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. I want to talk about the things I like in Return of the Killer Tomatoes. I think Karen M. Waldron as a tomato-turned human being, funny in the movie.
Yeah, I think it's got a good spirit.
It's got more of a Zucker Brothers, like I think Airplane, because it's already, been 10 years since it came out, that's what they're building off of. What I don't like is, look at that cover. Giant tomato with a face over a city. There are no killer tomatoes in this film because they get all turned into humans. This is like He-Man being teleported to the modern day New York. Not what we came here for.
But what I will say is this movie does introduce a character who turns out to be the most important in the whole series.
Into it.
This is Professor Gangrene, played by the great John Astin.
Now, the role came down to two people, John Astin and Adam West. We love Adam West. I don't think he would have had the right energy for this role.
I agree. I'm glad they went with John Astin. Adam West would have been too self-parodic.
Mm-hmm. And John Astin, obviously, father of Sean Astin, most famous for Gomez Addams in The Addams Family, the TV show.
Also, John Astin is the last surviving Batman villain.
Oh, the Riddler. That's right.
He was the Riddler in those 2 episodes.
John Astin, very funny in this movie, does exactly what's needed of him, of be playing a mad scientist.
He has a great energy, but he's also, like, I think, suitably deadpan. Mm-hmm. I love John Astin in these.
So a movie comes out, and I don't remember how it got to this point, but one of the producers on the Muppet Babies TV show, she told the creators, who were getting calls from like Hanna-Barbera being like, hey, can we do a Killer Tomatoes cartoon? She said, hold off, do not do it. I'll get back to you later. And they waited and they waited. They waited almost a year. She became the president in charge of Fox animation programming when they lifted off. So Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was one of the first shows in that Fox animation block, the cartoon. Now, I looked and I was like, there is no way in hell I caught this in first run, because I believe it came out in 1990. I would have been 3 years old. It did rerun in like 92 and 96. That's where I would have caught it.
I never saw the cartoon show.
No? Okay.
Can you tell me about the cartoon show? What happened in it?
It took place in which actually it's San Francisco in the movie. Here I think it's like San Zucchini or something like that. And weirdly, it is a continuation of the first 2 movies because it has the scuba man, the parachute guy, the master of disguise, the gymnast from the first movie. And they're in the second one as well.
This is such a treat for us who are deeply invested in the lore of this universe.
Yep. The George Clooney character, not present. Anthony Stark, his character is made into a little boy for some reason. And also the Karen M. Waldron character, the tomato-turned human, is in it as well as a sexy dame. And she can be turned into a tomato if salt or pepper hits her. Anyway, so it does build weirdly off of the movies. Very wacky. John Astin plays the same character, Dr. Gangrene. He even has the same kind of like lunkhead assistant, and they have talking tomato sidekicks that are voiced, of course, by like Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche.
Oh, the murderous row.
And they said that like Maurice LaMarche would not stop doing the outtakes from the Orson Welles.
Rosebud frozen peas.
Yes.
Yeah. That was me doing Maurice LaMarche.
You want me to be in? That makes no sense.
I wouldn't direct Shakespeare like this.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm trying to do Maurice LaMarche doing Orson Welles.
like Maurice LaMarche would not give it up, so that's how he ended up doing Pinky and the Brain. Anyway,
oh boy, there's a French fry in my beard.
so I mean, that is from The Critic.
Yeah.
Of Maurice LaMarche doing the parody.
So 20th Century Fox, though, became the home of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes, that's because the cartoon is playing, and they put into production, they sped Killer Tomatoes Strike Back before the cartoon came out. So it kind of came simultaneously with the cartoon.
And you'll recall that in Return of the Killer Tomatoes, in the end credits, it says that the next entry will be Killer Tomatoes Eat France.
Yes, they didn't get there
That
yet.
had to wait.
Yeah.
That had to wait. They had to build up to that.
So when you watch Killer Tomato Strikes Back and you're like, this has a
direct-to-video feel.
yeah, a bit of a different feel from the other movies. That's because it's a rare case of the star of the film, Rick Rockwell, who was a stand-up comic at the time, also co-wrote the film.
Okay.
And Rick Rockwell, Joe Piscopo-esque, if I will.
Yeah, I can see that.
Where, you know how we said that, like, George Clooney's playing it straight? That's how I have to do it. What if you did the exact opposite of that?
So this is my least favorite of the four. I gotta tell you, I don't think this is very funny at all.
I was laughing.
Yeah.
There were some funny jokes in it. It was so audacious with, like, how much tomfoolery that, like, the characters were doing. And I think that the joke density is pretty high.
What I will also say, and this may just be a personal reaction right now,
Yeah.
I was getting pretty tired in my tomato marathon, and I was like, this joke is wearing thin for
Well,
me.
I mean, the second one had no tomatoes in it.
Yeah.
The third one, the tomatoes are gremlins now. They're driving cars. They're robbing banks.
Yeah, I get, that maybe rubbed me the wrong way too. It's like,
Oh, are you a
they're-
purist like the creator?
Yeah, I guess I am. I like the big
no.
tomatoes. I don't like them following the trends, you know?
Well, I'm a child at heart, and so if I'm going to tell you a shocking bit of information.
Okay.
I'd never seen these last two movies as the biggest tomato head around.
What?
I know.
I'm flipping the table
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. But typical of the jokes in this movie is there's a psycho shower scene parody.
Okay, I thought this was pretty funny. Because
Really?
is this the only time in cinematic history that a character reaches the end of shampoo, fills it with water, and then uses it in her hair?
I know that I've done it in real history.
I know. I
Yeah.
saw myself reflected on screen.
That's true.
Or she screams and there's a little piece of soap and she puts it with the bigger piece of soap
Yeah.
to use it. Psycho parodies, not funny.
Yeah.
But everything leading up to that, I was laughing.
Okay.
This movie has a problem that we said the first one does. Oftentimes there'll be a setup of a joke and a punchline, but no subversion on that joke. A lot of, like, epic Bacon style humor where it's like, oh, our hero, who in this film plays a police officer, who in the reality of this film, like, tomatoes, I guess it didn't happen, but the parachutist character is there. And because he doesn't believe that tomatoes are killers and tomatoes are just accepted by everyday society, it's really a metaphor for how terrible stuff happens in our lives and we keep going and forget about it.
Yeah, so watching these movies, I was repeatedly struck with the question, like, what's the joke? Like, what's the stakes here?
The character walks down the street and he has a ping pong racket that he's playing with.
Yeah, everything about these movies is pretty, I think, one-dimensional. And so I don't think the humor has much of a biting satiric edge. I don't think they never do anything particularly like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that with the tomato concept.
Killer Tomato Strikes Back is the moonlighting of the series, if you will.
So, like, what I'll say is, like, by the time we got to the final, so far, entry in the series, Killer Tomatoes Eat France, I think Stockholm Syndrome had set in, because this is the silliest of the four.
So this is
saying something.
This is the post-cartoon one. So the tomatoes in this, they talk, they all have a Madball style look, and they're characters from the cartoon.
And they are, I would say, like Gremlins 2 tomatoes.
Yes, and we like Gremlins too.
Yeah,
so.
well, yeah, and all men are Socrates, yeah.
Yes. And so this one, Killer Tomatoes Eat France, 1992.
It opens with some very, like, Monty Python and the Holy Grail opening credits, where it's like, it's starring, and a whole bunch of French people, and it'll have fake French subtitles and stuff like that.
Now,
I was groaning a bit for that.
Do you find funny all the French jokes in it? Because I do. I'm laughing.
Kind of.
Because
It's so
nonstop.
stupid. This movie is just going for every piece of low-hanging fruit.
Oh.
If you can think of a French thing, escargot, Jerry Lewis.
Oh yeah. That is the funniest thing I've seen since Jerry Lewis.
There were some scenes that made me laugh, like when the girl's giving him the tour of Paris, and she's like, there's the famous left bank of Paris, and it just shows you a bank, and she's like, and there is the Sphinx, and you see the Sphinx. He's like, wait a minute, that's not in Paris. That made me laugh.
Now, I think that Mark Price, who stars in this movie...
Well, he kind of got me on his side in his first appearance.
Oh, yeah, where he's like, I could be Michael J. Fox, and I'm not. I'm starring in the fourth Killer Tomatoes movie.
Yeah, so that made me laugh.
You know that he co-starred with Michael J. Fox in Family Ties.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, sorry, guys. I didn't do
He
proper
played
research.
Skippy.
Okay.
I mean, we never watched Family Ties. That was not syndication. When we were
Okay,
teenagers.
sorry. That adds a whole new level of humor to this. The movies, as they go on, become increasingly reliant on fourth wall breaking jokes.
Oh, yeah.
This one especially. This one, it's like there's barely a movie here. Every 2 minutes, like somebody's interrupting, like, oh, check your script, that kind of thing, which sometimes it's funny, but sometimes I'm like, how many times are you going to use that
There
move?
is a funny joke where it's like, oh yeah, the main character dies in the script. You read it, and the character takes the page and he burns it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess we can't kill him then.
I mean, look, there's funny stuff.
I agree. It is unrelenting of like, another fourth wall joke? You got nothing, guys?
Yeah, or like, late, maybe 2/3 of the way in where it's like they're having the sword fight, and the sword fight, like they break into the crew and the...
Man, that's old hat.
That's some real Spaceball stuff right there.
Wait, when did Spaceballs come out?
Before this.
Okay. You sure? You think maybe they saw the script for Killer Tomatoes Eat France? Mel Brooks is going and cherry picking his favorite scenes?
Yeah. That's probably what happened. I mean, there's some stuff like, the tomatoes become rock stars.
Oh, I like that scene where they pretend... Oh, we didn't even mention FT, which I didn't realize until I saw somebody talk about it. It's supposed to be a parody of E.T.
Oh, yeah.
Fuzzy Tomato. Even in his first appearance, Return of the Killer Tomatoes, he's like, isn't he cute? Buy one in the lobby. Like he only exists to sell toys.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there was a lot of tomato merchandise that came out from the cartoon. None of it sold. That's why there was a second season, and that was it. It was like 8 episodes, and then we're done after that. Now, did you laugh when there was a giant tomato, and it was like... Was it Phantom of the Tomato or the Tomato of the Opera?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I like this movie kind of, sort of, just for the general spirit of it.
Yes, very silly.
And in the same way that I kind of like the general spirit of all these movies, even the third one, that it's like they're so harmless, and the people making them,
Well, this is the thing we didn't emphasize. It's the same creators of all these movies. It's not like an IP that went from person to person, like Scary Movie, for example, after the Wayans just abandoned it.
And here's the thing, it's great to have a sense of humor. Everyone wants to be funny.
Yeah.
Not everyone is funny. Mm-hmm. It's not a right to be funny, but I think it is a right to like have fun, to try to be funny. And so I watch these movies and I think
I chuckled once during every movie.
Yeah, these guys aren't that funny, but I like the spirit. I like the spirit of fun that they're trying to have.
Are the movies harmful? No. So the story goes that the producers of this film said that Fox was going to release Killer Tomatoes Eat France in theaters.
I don't believe it.
And they said it's the only time anyone has enforced in their contract, put it on home video. We don't want it to be in theaters. Like, it's going to cost too much for P&A.
Yeah.
And, like, we'd rather hit, like, a single than try for anything else. So just do that. It will go in profit if you do. And that's what they did.
Well, folks, you'll be happy to know that a new Killer Tomato film is on the way. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Organic Intelligence is coming in 2026.
It feels like a movie that's been in production for, like, 20 years.
Believe it. We got David Koechner. We got Eric Roberts.
Who's directing?
Somebody named David Farino. We got...
What the hell? It's not John DeBello. Get this out of here.
Okay, but hey, wait a minute. Daniel Roebuck is in it.
Oh, I like Daniel Roebuck. Oh, don't you mean Grandpa Munster, a.k.a. Jay Leno?
That's right. And even better, the mark of quality, a man who has never made a bad film, Eric Roberts.
Oh, no. Jeez, David Koechner. Boy, you poor guy. Well, that's all I got to say about that.
Work is work.
Yeah, that's true. So, do the Killer Tomatoes have a place in our modern society?
I love how you end every discussion with that question. I say, sure. Why not? No more or less than they ever did.
Did you play the Game Boy or Nintendo game based on the Killer Tomatoes?
No. But, okay, I'm going to ask you a question to end this discussion.
Yeah.
We've watched 4 movies. We've given a lot of thought to this world. Is the idea of Killer Tomatoes, and specifically an attack of them, funny?
No.
I agree.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Yeah. Do I like tomatoes with teeth and that act like gremlins? Yes.
Okay.
So that's where I come to it. That's why I have the, I'm at an impasse with one of the creators of this franchise.
And I guess this is where we differ, because I don't think it's funny, but if you said, we're going to make a Zucker-style movie where it's big tomatoes, big dumb tomatoes crushing people, I would say maybe something could be done with that.
Mm.
Now, was it? Not really.
Well, history shows. We're talking about it right now. So
I guess so. Nobody made us do this.
Well, one of us made the other person do it. So I hope Killer Tomatoes will keep going. And, when they put out Killer Tomatoes Strike Back on Blu-ray for $60, I'll pick it up and go, no, thank you.
You'll say, ooh, commentary track.
Nope, because I returned to the Killer Tomatoes. I was like, I'm sure I bought it. And you know what? I don't think I did.
So Big Denver starts off on a
big
auspicious note.
Yep, Killer Tomatoes. Again, I want to point people in the direction of Screaming Soup, his YouTube page. His 3-hour documentary that he interviewed 20 cast and crew members from the films, including the showrunner of the cartoon, has less than 10,000 views.
Wow.
So get on that. He did like animated segments for it.
So I have a personal plug I'd like to do.
Do it.
Folks may remember that about 2 years ago, I put together an essential publication called the Journal of Stoogological Studies, the world's greatest Three Stooges fanzine. Well, I'm going to do Volume 2. We're going to have the Journal of Stoogological Studies Volume 2 coming sometime in 2026. And this is an open call for submissions. If you're out there and you're listening and you have any Three Stooges related idea, could be journalism, could be fiction, could be write an article about one of their films. Hey, the ultimate biographical study of Christine McIntyre. I don't know. Anybody in defense of Snow.
But no hack ideas.
Yeah.
Because we'll know.
No, honestly, hack ideas are
Doesn't
welcome.
matter, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have the ultimate defense of Snow White and the Three Stooges? Well, I want to hear it. Send it to stoogejournal@gmail.com by February 1st, 2026.
That first volume is so good.
We have some wonderful contributions by Mr. Decloux in there.
Some articles so good that were published in the official Three Stooges magazine, much to the surprise of the writer of that article.
And I just want to say, like, get in touch. No experience necessary. This is a truly democratic forum.
Even though that first volume is all killer, no filler, to be honest.
I mean, the thing is,
The comic strips you take too.
The comic strips are amazing. The art's great. Something I love about the first volume is there's like an interview with Guy Madden in there. There's also just like stuff by anybody in there. It's like, I think it's a truly democratic forum.
And I mean, the people who are going to reach out, they're probably very passionate about the Three Stooges.
And that's what's great. Your passion will make this great. So yeah, let's, and if you want to work with me on a project, this is your chance. I know you all do.
I'm trying to think of what can I write about the three? Because when I wrote about the Crazy Nights and it got published in that what is it called?
The Three Stooges Journal. It's called.
Three Stooges.
Not to be confused with the Journal of Stoogological Studies. Very different.
You could tell that the writers were like, no one's ever written about this.
Yeah.
I read that article and I have no memory of writing it. But anyway, as for letters, which we usually get every week, the first letter is from Michael Willis, and he goes, "Dear movie guys, first time, short time. I want to keep my email brief. I'm a new listener to the podcast, and burning through your back catalog, I also can't wait to get stuck into the Patreon episodes. I came across your show when I Googled Godfrey Hope Podcast, and I want to thank you for reigniting my love of cinema. My wife is not so happy as I am now trying to revisit movies like The Devil Bat with her."
Oh, so
with
good.
her. Don't force loved ones.
Yeah. Although the thing about The Devil Bat, starring Bela Lugosi,
Good movie.
is
Short.
65 minutes long,
Yes.
maybe. I don't know.
What is the famous line that he has about the neck?
Put a little on the tender part of your neck.
And the letter continues.
Goodbye.
It seems tradition for letter writers to suggest topics, so I haven't heard one yet. I wonder if you would ever tackle horror anthologies like those made by Amicus Studios. Do you know Amicus Studios, Will?
I know Amicus Studios. I haven't really delved into it.
Not Hammer.
Yeah.
They're the other ones, and they're the ones who did like Tales from the Crypt. I'm not that big on horror anthology films because I usually feel that like maybe one good segment,
They
like
have
2
this,
weak
it's
ones.
the same with like any anthology film, like
Except for one, we'll be talking about it in a few weeks.
we have an anthology film
Idea.
episode of a sort coming up.
Yeah, can you check the date? And oh wait, what holiday is coming up? Maybe it's an anthology film centered around that. Take your guesses. And I know that like Rutledal in the Discord is gonna get it like on the first try. He's gonna be like, "This is what they're talking about."
Okay.
Yeah. Did we do a Patreon episode on this topic?
No.
Oh, we haven't.
I haven't seen this movie since I was in high school.
I thought we watched it together.
Maybe we did.
Maybe we did. Maybe we're just reading the script book together and reenacting our favorite scenes. That's another hint for people out there. Amicus, you know what? That'd be a fun Shocktober idea.
Yeah.
Of like taking. Did we do a Hammer horror episode?
We did the Dracula movies.
Oh, okay.
It'd be nice to do a Hammer episode that's like other stuff. You know?
Yeah. Or even like a filmmaker like Terrence Fisher
Yeah.
or Freddie Francis or something like that. So we're putting it in the bank, and thank you very much for becoming a Patreon subscriber.
I think we've got more listeners from people like Godfrey Ho for that reason than
Even though that episode terrible, we need to go back and redo it because it's a lot of us getting facts wrong.
Godfrey Ho revisited.
Yes. Yeah. I've been put in my place by a lot of people who's like, well, actually, and I was like, yeah, I know, I'm wrong. I love Godfrey Ho. Anytime someone asks him about this stuff, he's like, I don't remember.
Here's the thing about Godfrey Ho. There's nothing you can say about him that's not true, even the things that aren't true.
Oh, yeah, because he directed Robo Vampire, right? Incorrect.
But it's important that he directed Robo Vampire. I believe that Godfrey Ho, but more importantly, the idea
of Godfrey Ho, even though that's a Thomas Tang production, which is Filmark.
But that's the thing. All that stuff's Godfrey Ho as far as I'm concerned.
All I'll say is, I don't know when, but there is a Godfrey Ho explosion coming to physical media that's been in the work for years. And stuff is it's not for me. I'm very clarifying. But me and Will appear on some of it.
Well, to quote Michael Shannon in Take Shelter, there is a storm coming.
And I can't wait. And maybe this company keeps announcing stuff, and I'm like, when are they going to announce the Godfrey Ho stuff? But when it does, it's going to be like, man, Justin's doing a lot of stuff all in a row. It was done a long time ago, sometimes years ago.
Very exciting.
I want to be clear that the people who are doing it are not like, these movies are bad. They're very serious about it, so which is good.
Wait, do people consider Godfrey Ho a bad filmmaker?
Yeah, I'm laughing at the idea someone would consider him a bad filmmaker.
Ridiculous.
So our next letter is from Elsie from Las Vegas, and they ask, "What's up, guys?
That's big city gonna save my soul."
I have never seen a film projected on film.
Wow.
Actually, that's not true, but my age puts me in the Zoomer demographic. So isn't it confusing that Zoomers are old people and young people?
Okay, well, that's only Canadian.
Oh, is it a Canadian thing?
Can I explain this?
Okay, so I didn't understand this. Because I'm picking up Zoomer magazine, hoping to, know what the young kids are watching, and it's old people as far as I can see.
I will explain this. In Canada, we have a magazine called Zoomer Magazine. In
Yeah.
fact, we have a whole media organization called Zoomer Media, run by a guy named Moses Znaimer, who's like an old guy.
Yeah.
They have a TV channel, and this, before Gen Z was known as Zoomers, he called his empire Zoomer Media because he said it's for boomers with zip.
Okay.
Boomers with zip.
And this is just Canadian only.
This is only in Canada.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And it's very confusing.
Yeah. So the letter continues. Back when movies were still commonly played on 35 millimeter, I would have been too little for it to make any difference to me. And around that time, I would have become old enough to discern the distinction. Digital became the default. And I don't live somewhere with theaters that show actual prints. So my question is, are there any films you believe you haven't truly seen until you've seen them projected on film? Is the difference that vast between watching Citizen Kane or 2001 on a great home setup versus projected on film? I'm going to answer this question very simply in one word. No.
Okay.
I don't think you would never say you haven't really seen it until you've seen it on film.
I would never go that far.
Yes.
I would say that there are some movies that benefit from being seen on film. Like, I don't know, a year ago I saw The Wizard of Oz on 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about...
But have you really seen it until you've seen it on nitrate, Will?
and I haven't.
No, yeah.
And I'm mad because they played
They did play it when we weren't there. Yes.
Yeah, at the Nitrate Picture Show.
Here's the thing. They only got so many of those MGM prints, so if they keep doing it, it'll come back.
But no, you don't have to. And in fact, I've had bad experiences of like you go see... I remember going to see Fitzcarraldo once on a blood red print, and it's like, at this point, just show it on
on film. I remember seeing Creepshow on a blood red print too. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Although we had a good experience some years ago
in the basement of Sonic Boom.
Yeah, we were seeing Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla on not just a blood. It was practically bleeding.
It was like black and white with a red tint.
And it was a TV print, so it was pan and scan as well.
Loved it.
Also, it was free, and there was free beer
and popcorn.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Great time. So it's different, right? Like depending on what movie that you're watching. Will I go see a film if it's on film and it's a novelty? Yes. I would never say, you haven't experienced it till you've seen it like this.
I mean, we're so lucky in this city. This city, New York, Los Angeles, there are a few others. We're in Toronto, by the way, in case you didn't know. There are a few cities in the world.
Yeah, we don't mention it like fucking 30 times per podcast.
There are a few cities in the world where like you actually can regularly see 35 millimeter film, and that's great. And 35 millimeter film in this city is a great way to get me out because I feel like it's new, it's unique. I don't get to see this. But then, there are lots of places too where it's just the communal act of movie going, just being able to, you can have a better experience like just at your local rec center or something where they're playing a movie and you can meet your people there. Like I think
the communal experience is more important than seeing it on film.
Absolutely. Like, you can have a much better experience at a micro cinema or something, seeing like an AVI file that they're showing than a 35 millimeter print a lot of the time.
Yep. I absolutely agree with you. And even though, now that I think about it, watching Tarantino's Fortnite short on 70 millimeter.
Oh, what an experience.
Yep.
Because every print tells a story. Every scratch is a day in the life.
Mr. Tarantino, I'd like to ask you to leave, please. Actually, this brings up, thank you very much for the letter.
Can I just say one more thing, though?
Yeah.
And I'm going to contradict everything we just said. When you're at like the review cinema or a place like that, and they're playing, just some movie on a DCP, and it begins and you see the Warner Brothers logo in like crystal clarity and there's no heartbeat to that image, doesn't your heart just sink a little bit? Doesn't it just sink just a little bit?
I'm going to think about it when the Universal logo comes up and I hear that Grinch laugh in a few days. If only this was on 35 millimeter film. And what's so funny about this is like when we were watching Kill Bill on 70 millimeter, I'm like, I've seen these movies on film. I saw them when they came out.
So many movies I saw on
Mrs.
film.
Doubtfire.
Yeah, Rush Hour 3. I saw that on 35.
Was that on 35?
Oh, yeah. I saw that on 35 millimeter in Kitchener. And then a few days later, probably the Simpsons movie on 35.
Welcome to France.
The Mummy Returns. I don't know. So many movies.
Any film from pre-Avatar, probably on 35 millimeter.
That's right.
James Cameron is going to hell for his sins.
That's right.
All right. So on our Patreon this week, a topic we've never done before, shockingly.
We are talking about deleted scenes.
Yes. What are the important ones? What are the ones that stick in our memory?
Legendary deleted scenes from great movies and not so great movies. And we asked the question, did these famous deleted scenes from movies as diverse as King Kong to Citizen Kane to Annie Hall to Austin Powers, would the movie have been better with these famous deleted scenes in them?
Mm-hmm.
And you can only find out.
Wait. In that sentence, King Kong and then Austin Powers? That's how it should be. So check it out, patreon.com/The Important Cinema Club.
So Big Denver continues.
Oh!
Only the biggest topics.
Yes.
Popular topics. Topics that will finally turn us into blank check.
So what is big? I think muscles.
That's right. Biceps.
Big bodybuilders.
Pectorals.
Yep. Finally, or we're revisiting Dolph Lundgren. Yes, that's right. We're talking
you were trying to trick them into thinking we were
talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, we're talking about Dolph Lundgren.
So I love Dolph Lundgren, unironically.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't love Dolph Lundgren.
Who doesn't love Dolph Lundgren?
I think people who believe him to be like a flat or wooden performer who's uncharismatic in his roles.
Well, I mean, there's the famous story that Sylvester Stallone visited the set of Masters of the Universe, and he said, "Hey, you gave that guy lines?"
I'm going to keep all the silence. This is what I think of Stallone right now. Oh, sorry. I should say award-winning Kennedy honors Mr. Stallone.
That's true.
All right. So which movies should we watch? Rocky IV. Because it's a Dolph Lundgren Christmas, and that's a Christmas movie.
And that's why we're doing Dolph Lundgren, because this is our annual Christmas episode. Rocky IV, I Come in Peace.
Also a Christmas movie.
And
we
then,
got two.
What else?
What is the iconic... I don't
The
know.
Punisher?
Yeah, The Punisher.
But
he's not the star of the movie, but like he's really good in those Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning movies.
Oh, maybe we should watch one of those. Although, do we want to save that?
I want to save it for John Hyams' episode. What is another like old Dolph Lundgren role, and not like sad old Dolph
Dark
Lundgren.
Angel? Showdown in Little Tokyo. I got it.
That's a new one though. That's not an old.
Oh, Elderly.
Elderly. Yeah.
Oh,
he had a little bit of a run there where it's like, how big is his role going to be in Hail Caesar? No dialogue. He's just the captain of a submarine.
How about Kindergarten Cop 2?
Oh, God. No, you know what? How about he directed it, command performance, written by Steve Latchaw, who is one of the, I think, Jim Wynorski creative collaborators.
I can't wait. Command performance.
And you know what it is? It's a Die Hard ripoff. At a concert. All the Christmas movies are coming together. Listen, if you want to watch Showdown in Little Tokyo, I ain't going to stop you. I really like The Punisher, too.
Biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to pinpoint, when did I decide that Dolph Lundgren's one of my guys? Because it happened at some point.
Yeah.
And I don't know when.
And he didn't start that way.
No, absolutely not.
Well, let's find out.
Yep. So, until next week, my name's Justin Decloux.
I'm Will Sloan.
Thanks for listening.
So I went to New Orleans on the weekend.
You did?
I didn't tell you this.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You were saving it for the pod.
From Thursday to Sunday. Yeah, we had a bunch of credit card points built up. And,
is that why you went?
And we spent it on New
Wait.
Orleans.
It wasn't for content of some kind?
No, it wasn't. But I don't know. What else am I going to do?
Did your dogs come? What happened to your dogs?
We had somebody babysit
That's the
them.
question I ask Will every time I see him and his partner out. I'm like, your dog!
Chill. It's fine. The dogs are okay.
Okay. Whew. All right.
So we had big plans. We were going to see Nicolas Cage's mausoleum.
Oh, okay.
His pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get to the cemetery. The cemetery is locked.
No.
You have to pay $30 for a tour.
$30?
$30 each for a tour.
Yikes.
And so we didn't go in because I was so upset. I was so angry about like a cemetery that should be democratic. You know, you shouldn't have to pay to get in a cemetery. Death should be the great equalizer.
I agree.
So I didn't see Nicolas Cage's tomb. But what I will say is it was a very meaningful visit for me, not just as a man, but as a cinephile. Or not just as a cinephile, but as a man. Both these things in some order. Because having seen so many of Joe D'Amato's late 80s films...
Whoa, that's where they shot creepers.
Films like 11 Days, 11 Nights. 11 Days, 11 Nights 2.
Is that why you were watching 11 Days? Wait. Let me take a step back. You didn't buy 11 Days, 11 Nights 2 on Blu-ray and then go, hey, let's go to New Orleans.
Okay.
Did you?
No, that's not...
Because if
that's
I'm
not
looking
why
at
I
the
went-
chronology of what happened.
Justin saw that I logged 11 Days, 11 Nights 2.
Yes, and you were talking a lot about Joe D'Amato.
Do people know who Joe D'Amato is?
Oh,
Do I have to explain this concept?
Someone wrote a letter to us. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. And I don't know why I lost it, but I remember reading it, that they said, guys, there's one barrier you haven't broken. You haven't written a book about Joe D'Amato. To this I say, there's a French publisher who wrote a gigantic coffee table that goes in such detail of every Joe D'Amato movie.
You know, we have a book that we're going to write together soon.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of we need to find 3 weeks to do it, basically.
Yes, that's right.
And it's going to be good.
This is a book only for you listeners.
Yeah.
No one else will buy it.
So that's all I'll say about it now. But the idea of a Joe D'Amato book, that's a lot of porn, man. I don't know. Could you imagine, like, anything he made after 1990?
Yeah, and that French book like goes into such details of like even the films that he like shot.
The fucking Rocco Siffredi shit. Like,
yeah.
Okay, but
I'm shocked that book has not been translated. That one and the Bruno Mattei book, which is more of an oral history.
That's a book that I have frequently pulled off the shelf and pulled out my phone and done the app, to try to translate bits of it.
We got to return to Joe D'Amato. It's been a while.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Big Denver. Joe D'Amato.
Joe D'Amato, for those who don't know, was an Italian shit merchant, an Italian schlock director who made several good movies and many.
You know how Jess Franco has like, all the fans who love his obsessions and his kind of thematic concerns? Way underneath that is Joe D'Amato.
But there is a vibe.
Oh, absolutely.
Emmanuel in America. Mm-hmm. Only one man could make
Emmanuel
that
and the
film.
Cannibals.
Yeah, Anthropophagus. These are his gays.
Porno Holocaust.
Porno Holocaust. Only he would make that film.
Yep.
So yeah, I did watch 11 Days, 11 Nights. Here's the thing. It came out on 4K. 4K.
No one can see me shaking my head.
So of course I bought it.
Yeah.
Because if a Joe D'Amato movie comes out in 4K, it's like, sorry, no dog food this week. Daddy has to get a...
You're my favorite dog. You too. Sorry, next time.
So I did get it, even though I knew...
Blue Underground, right?
No, it was 88 films. And the specialty DVD markets, they're always hyping up their movies. It's always like a lost classic. On the back of this one, it said a solid entry. A solid entry in Joe D'Amato's erotic film canon. And I knew, if it's only a solid entry, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And it was. Now,
wait. Is it part 1 or part 2? Or do I need to watch both of them?
So it's part 2, although it's also part 4, because he already made 11 Days, 11 Nights 2. 11 Days, 11 Nights was a 9.5 weeks ripoff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm saying this for the listeners.
Okay.
Because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what 11 Days, 11 Nights is.
They don't know what Will's been through.
So,
pants around his ankles, ready to...
And nothing's coming out.
Nothing's coming out. Because you're already spent. Anyway, continue the movie.
So I watched this movie on Tuesday. I went to New Orleans on Thursday.
Now.
And you're going to say, is it connected?
Yes.
The thing is, no, but also not no.
Okay.
Because it's like, I was going to watch this.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, I might as well
When did you guys book the New Orleans trip?
Like 2 months before this.
Okay, so it wasn't like, let's go.
No, but I was like, I am going to watch this, and maybe it'll also hype me up for my trip.
Oh, okay.
And it's great because when I was in New Orleans, historic city, beautiful city, I'm walking these streets, I'm like, these are the streets where they shot all those Joe D'Amato movies. These are the houses. I've seen these kinds of houses in so many Joe D'Amato movies.
Now, like Troll 2 and Creepers were not shot in New Orleans, right? They were shot in the South, I believe.
I think, were they not Louisiana
Oh, was it?
films?
Oh, you're right. It is Louisiana film.
Because The Beyond was also shot around there.
Did you visit any of those locations?
I was on a highway that I thought was the highway from the movie, but it actually wasn't. But
Okay.
I did see the river that the highway was on.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're like, Dancy, look at this. And you're like,
That's exactly what I said. I said, I think we're on the highway from the Beyond. Get your camera out. Take a picture.
And she was like, no, we're not. You're like, I brought one of my dogs to take the photo, the famous photo of the woman standing there with her dog.
I need all the traffic to stop right now so I can stand on the highway right now, like the woman from the Beyond.
Did you see any other sites?
Yeah, but nothing movie related.
No,
you know?
boring,
Yeah.
like music or stuff like that, or a museum.
Yeah, who cares? But what I just soaked in the atmosphere of Joe D'Amato's New Orleans.
I would like to thank everybody that came to a Important Cinema Club Christmas Spectacular. I was not expecting there to being so many people that I'm like, if more people come, we'll have to turn them away.
Man, this was awesome. Yeah, so this is the second year in a row that at Eyesore Cinema, a great video store here in Toronto, we've done a Christmas show.
Yeah.
We did a live podcast recording, which I guess we'll put up on the Patreon, right?
Yep, then we will.
But Justin had a flea market.
I brought a lot of Blu-rays.
And you missed out, guys, if you weren't there because the deals were insane.
Everything was $5.
Incredible out-of-print stuff for $5. Mm-hmm. You know, we gave away prizes. Some lucky people got Brigitte Lahay's autobiography. One lucky gentleman, a longtime listener, got a Frank D'Angelo CD, and he informed us.
Oh,
and this is so awesome. When I was handing him his CD, he said, Frank D'Angelo was my wife's father's high school bully.
After he said that, we were like, whoa, that's wild. I thought about it. I was like, how does he know this information? How did this come up?
Probably.
Was he turning on the radio and like every radio in the greater Toronto area, Frank D'Angelo's dulcet tones
The thing is, there was a period about 10 years ago when that was the case. Like his billboards were fucking everywhere.
Right.
Frank
So maybe his
D'Angelo.
dad was like,
It's like that fucking guy.
yeah, used to bullet. But the movies indicate that Frank D'Angelo is a great man. He donates all his money. A bully? I don't believe that for a second.
Anyway, at the Important Cinema Club Christmas Spectacular, we had a great lineup of short films and then the feature, which I had not seen until that night. Mm-hmm. What was the film?
Yuo Ping's Red Wolf.
It's
a Die Hard on a boat. An Under Siege, if you will.
But better than Under Siege.
Yes, much better. And what's so funny about this movie is forgotten. Even
you and Wu Ping fans.
Yeah, Brandon was there, who programs Black Belt Cinema at the review. He's like, I've never heard of this movie, and I haven't seen it. And it just goes to show Hong Kong was so good at what they were doing. This shit was considered disposable trash. Like, just the most bone-breaking fight scenes, gags you've never seen in a movie before.
This movie's so awesome. It's basically not known because it doesn't have a big star in it.
Yes, it's Kenny Ho that stars in it. That's probably why.
And in particular, I like that Yuen Woo-ping discovered, and I haven't really seen this in a Hong Kong action movie, the creative potential of somebody getting hit in the shins with a big metal object.
He loves doing it throughout this movie.
Which every time it happens, I'm like, oh.
You know what he did discover in this movie? He loves to kill innocent civilians. That you have never seen a movie that has a higher body count on screen, not like an explosion takes out a plane or something like that. Just innocent people screaming, running away, being gunned down, to the point that, like, if you're the hero of the movie, you will be haunted for the rest of your life of the people you did not save.
So what's the movie called again?
It's called Red Wolf. It came out in the 90s, directed by Yuo Ping, starring Kenny Ho. Action-packed, takes place on New Year's. It's basically a Christmas movie. There's like lights and trees and everything in the background. And if you need something that like you're with your friends or family, it's late at night, it's definitely on YouTube somewhere. It's one that had been forgotten. The reason I don't think it got a new Blu-ray release. Maybe it did, because it was put out by Tokyo Shock, which was Media Blasters.
If you have a small child who needs to see their first movie.
Yep. There you go. Red Wolf is the one I would highly recommend. And just goes to show you out there, if you've never heard of this movie, there's always beautiful things to discover. Not me, though. I've seen them all. Red Wolf, I own on a 2-pack put out by the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, yeah.
It was that and Awakened Fist, which are two Yuo Ping. He choreographed Awakened Fist. And I wish I still had it, because that's what I would have played at the screening, because it had burnt-in subtitles, which That's the one. I love to watch my Hong Kong movies that way.
But what a great night.
Yeah. Thanks everybody that came through. We will definitely do something next year as well. Because, I mean, if we can get that many people, that small room, it feels full.
We might do more events like this, too.
Yeah, I would love it. So if you're in Toronto, hope to see you there. If you're not in Toronto, move on down. Or, save up your credit card points and come down when we do an event. Mm-hmm. And I will say again, I sold such good stuff and people were just walking by and not picking it up.
Justin told me I had to stop buying stuff.